What'd you think of the halftime show? I gave the halftime show. Here's the deal. I gave the halftime show. Look, I grew up with those guys. I love it. I gave it like a.
This sounds like a lower number.
No, I gave it like a 7, dude. Like people like LeBron going, wow, that's the greatest thing ever. Like, I got to be honest with you. 50 Cent hanging upside down with his chain like over his face, and people kind of make it like that. I love 50 Cent. He should have got out of a fucking car like a G and done the song. He was like hanging upside down with dancers around him. Then they went away so they could get him down. I didn't love that. Mary J fucking killed it. And if I'm being honest, I wish Eminem would have like sampled more than just Lose Yourself. He came out and just did Lose Yourself, which was so mainstream. But I think if he would have done like a few different parts, I love Snoop and Dre. I thought it was good. Not the best. Nothing beats, as far as I'm concerned, Prince doing that guitar solo in the rain. That was fucking nuts, dude.
I did not see the halftime show.
Oh, okay.
My daughter was freaking out because there was company and stuff, and she was feeling lonely, so I had to go upstairs. So they saw all of that.
My wife that's a good dad. That's a fucking dude. A dad watching a Super Bowl, okay, hanging out, enjoying the company's there. The daughter's upset, and you excuse yourself from the Super Bowl. Granted, it was halftime.
But I had to lose myself in the moment. I owned it. Went upstairs, read her a book. Hey,
Mom spaghetti. Yeah. So it was good, but what are you going to do? Overall,
I just saw a little bit. When I saw Snoop and Dre on stage together, I was like, man, they did this one right. I thought, listen, how hyped up the crowd was, just the little clips that I saw.
Yes.
That it was like, it was L.A. They opened it up with Nipsey Hussle. I thought they did a lot of stuff right for a lot of people that, you know, they usually, you know, rap has really been ignored largely, I want to say, for things like that, for obvious reasons. I mean, we're going to be honest here. I mean, we know the kind of comedians that get gigs like that. They're the clean comics. And I feel like rappers are sort of like the late night musicians with the language that they use. So, you know, there's a reason they've never had a comedian at the fucking the Super Bowl.
Here's one thing I learned about the Super Bowl.
A clean set in front of 80,000 drunk football fans and in broad daylight. Let's try to get that one going. They're going to do it.
No,
they're going to do it. And some comic is going to be dumb enough to take the fucking gig.
Nah, yeah, you can't do it, dude.
You know what that's like? I've seen a number of my friends. They go out and they did one of those fucking shows where, you know, where they have, it's all industry, and then they have phony, good-looking people supposed to be a crowd between them. Have done a few of those kinds of gigs. That's just a thankless. You know, the only people listening to you are the whores. The club whores down front, male and female. And it's just like, that's not the crowd. Those are the people you make fun of. And you just go out there and you got your sparkly clothes on because you think it's going to be a big moment. And then you just go out and you just eat a fucking dick.
If I had the biggest enemy comedian, if my biggest enemy in comedy ever, which obviously I don't really have, but if I did, just a fucking rival, and then he went out there for the Super Bowl. He or she went out there for the Super Bowl and goes, "You guys having a good time?" and bombed. I would still feel horrible. That is how scary. But
it's not good for comedy.
No, it doesn't belong. It doesn't. Although Brian Regan did that Florida Gators thing, where what they did was they bring
the Gator Growl. Yeah, that was a famous gig.
And he thought that he was bombing, and then all of a sudden, like 3 seconds later, he heard like the laughing because of how far away it was.
Yeah.
But here's what I learned. If you paid attention to the Super Bowl ads, here's what you learned. Beer is dead. They did in the entire fucking Super Bowl. That's how you know that these hard seltzers and all of these other things, they waited till like the beginning of the fourth quarter, one Clydesdale Budweiser commercial, soda commercials, all the shit that people are like substituting with hard seltzers, diet sodas, and stuff like that, dude. There was no beer.
Why are hard seltzers in over beer?
Hard seltzers are in because they found a way, because the main ingredient is carbonated water. They found a way to get these organic, non-chemical. So basically, you're not going to get hammered, but you have like 3 or 4 of them. You catch a nice buzz and stay there, and it's healthier, and it's just taken over. It's just taken over. So, and Corona
I'm
makes.
so glad I don't drink anymore. Dude, is there anything better than a Bud Tall in a fucking can? When you're supposed to be working? I mean, that's that's America.
Listen, hey, I love a cold one, dude. Every once in a while. I'm not a beer guy. I love a cold beer. I like Yingling, dude. You ever have an ice cold Yingling? It's fucking great, man. It's a good beer. Goes down. I don't like that hoppy shit. I don't like that fucking overly IP.
I don't either. I like all the beer from when I was a kid. I like Michelob Light. I like Miller High Life. I like Budweiser, not that Bud Light shit. And none of these lemon and lime fucking things. I don't like any of that shit. I didn't even like light beer from Miller. I didn't. I like Coors Light.
Yeah, I do too.
Coors Light was a great one. And then back in the day, if we really wanted to get fucked up, you'd get somebody to buy you a case of Heffenreffer, which had a higher alcohol content, came in a green bottle. It was called the Green Death. And we used to fucking drink those, drive my buddy's dad, early 70s Ford LTD, down the Mass Pike into the old Boston Garden.
That's awesome.
I just remember sitting on the passenger side rear seat, and I swear to God, my buddy looked like he was like driving the car, looked like he was 20 feet away. Like I could have thrown a football to him. That's how big the car, because everybody else, we all had like, little ass cars. We didn't have any money. And just riding that fucking sled in there. It was a 4-door Ford LTD, shit brown with light brown interior. And it had like a 400 under the hood. Posi rear end. It was just fucking car was the greatest. It was the fucking greatest. Yeah. So that was it though. But all I ever drank, I just used to drink Budweiser. There was a while in my 30s where I drank Heineken for a little while, and one day I just drank it. I was like, I just don't like how it's not into this.
Can you ask me a question? Because you're a German guy. What's the deal with Germany and certain European countries drinking warm beer and saying that's the way you're supposed to drink? Dude, a warm beer is
because it's of higher quality over there.
Okay.
Yeah, our shit, you gotta have it ice cold and stuff. Dude, like, you know what, one of the funniest things ever, to see a European come over here and drink American beer? I remember, when I first came down to New York City, I remember Dave Attell being on stage, and this fucking guy from England was walking across in front of the stage with like almost a full pitcher. And he goes, and Dave just, I think he knew they were from Europe, so he just knew. He goes, what's the matter? He goes, you don't like our beer? And he goes, right, it's weak piss. And that was the first time because I had never been to Europe. I was like, oh, I guess there's shit. Dude, over there, like when you go to Belgium and what was the other place? I never went to Belgium. I went to the other city over there.
Amsterdam?
No. It was in what the fuck was it called? Antwerp.
Okay.
Yeah. For half a second, I thought Belgium was a city. It's a country. Antwerp, and then there's the other one, the capital. I went to Antwerp, dude. They have all of these fucking beers over there that you've never heard of, and each one of them has their own special glass. All right? And the Germans got a thing, well, yeah, they'll drink it at like room temperature.
Yeah, that's what I don't get, man. Like, because it just tastes. I had a Heineken that was warm once, and I was just like, "This is fucking horrible."
No, I think some of those other ones, and I also think it's an acquired taste. If you've never had it, it's really like shocking. But I don't, I don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
I don't. I like my dad likes beer a little warm. Like he's really German. So I mean, I like, but the shit he drank, Stroh's, the American shit, he needed it ice cold, or you'd taste how fucking horrific it was. But one of the things, like, you know, if you, I saw this picture one time of somebody who got a little snowed in Belgium, and they just were just sitting at a bar and was trying as many different beers as they could, and they had all these empty glasses, and they were all different sort of shapes for the beer head and all of that, to give it the best taste, instead of just, you know, fucking just grabbing a, you know, a thing on it. And you know, it's funny, I really like